City, Arsenal, smash. Next question. I mean, come on. We all know that the Etihad Stadium is a slaughterhouse for Arsenal. You remember last season, even Robbie put on this Captain America speech to try rally and galvanize the lads and the fans to think that they can take something away from City at the Etihad Stadium during the title race. No, it didn't work. I'll put it here for reference, but it just didn't work. Kevin De Bruyne is back, and we know that Kevin De Bruyne just always torments Arsenal, especially at the Etihad Stadium, right? Okay, Liverpool on 60 points. They've played 26 games, so they have 12 remaining. City and Arsenal have 13 remaining each. City on 56 points, Arsenal on 55. But again, they have a game in hand over Arsenal. So I'll do this game by game. That is our starting point. And now looking at the fixtures going forward, who do I think will end up winning the Premier League based on, of course, who the results of these following fixtures, okay? By the way, I've been gifted this Liverpool shirt by a friend. I've wanted to start a footballing shirt collection for a while now. I always said that I'll start, but I guess this is the cue. So I've been gifted a Liverpool shirt. Thank you. Shout out to my boy. I'm promising to start gathering my football shirts. I did buy a Lyle Foster and Burnley shirt that got lost in transit somewhere, so it's sitting somewhere in Korea. I don't know when that's gonna get here, but that's actually the first shirt that I bought, and I said, you know, I'm gonna start wearing it on the channel. Let's get into the Liverpool fixtures, going match by match, okay? They have played a game extra, so they're not playing this weekend, but their next fixture is Forest away. Forest away, Liverpool win. Then they have Man City home. A lot of people have this as the title decider. I would have normally said Liverpool win, but I think they have at the moment too many injuries. If they were at their full strength, I think the Anfield crowd would have definitely pushed Liverpool over the line for this one. City have been looking very vulnerable this season, and we know that Anfield is not a very good place for City to travel to, right? So I would have normally said it would be a Liverpool win, but right now I'm going with a draw. City also unbeaten since the turn of the new year. You know, they're growing into their game a little bit, and although they haven't really won against a big team besides Man United and maybe the top four this season, including Spurs, excluding City of course, I still feel like they do not get a win at Anfield specifically. Everton away, I think Liverpool win that one. I know it's a Merseyside derby, but I think Liverpool have always been dominating this fixture. Brighton home, I think it's another Liverpool win at home. Sheffield United at home, Liverpool win. Man United away, I'm going with a loss. I believe Man United at Old Trafford are capable of beating this Liverpool team. I think somehow in every season Liverpool go through these phases where maybe they'll thrash Man United at Anfield, but at Old Trafford it becomes a different game. Man United all of a sudden are up for it. So I'm going with a Man United win for that fixture. I don't know, I just see it, and they would be very encouraged by the 0-0 that they got from Anfield this season, okay? So Crystal Palace home, Liverpool win. Fulham away, Liverpool win. West Ham away, Liverpool draw. Okay, so I have Liverpool drawing against West Ham away. I know Arsenal just thrashed them, but I think against Liverpool they'd be, I'm assuming they'd be much better organized, and I know West Ham are a very tricky fixture to play at the London Stadium. Spurs home, I'm going with a draw. Okay, I feel like Ange and his Tottenham Spurs, his Tottenham, his Totspur, sorry, they can get a result at Anfield. I think it happened before where I think Son was the one who got the equalizing goal in the 1-1. It wasn't an equalizer, but it actually put Spurs in the lead, and then Liverpool actually got their goal and it was a draw. And I think those 2 points that Liverpool dropped in that title race actually cost them. So it was either Son or Kane that scored. I think it was Son, but definitely that 1-1 draw, I have a vivid memory of it, and that did cost Liverpool the title, and I think it could happen again. I think Spurs do get a draw at Anfield. Villa away, I'm going with another draw for Liverpool. Okay, and then Wolves at home, I'm going win. So Villa away, again, another tricky fixture, and towards the end of the season, I'm pretty sure Villa would be still up there fighting for something. Champions League, Europa League, definitely they'd want to try keep their Champions League spot, just like Spurs as well. I feel like they're very capable of taking points off Liverpool, especially at home at Villa Park. So Man City, Bournemouth away, I think that's a Man City win. Man City and United home, I think Man City win at home. Liverpool away, I said that would be a draw. Brighton away, that would be a draw for City. I think Brighton would be a very tricky team to play against because they try to play in a similar way that City does, and we've seen in the past few seasons that they can frustrate City. I'm not sure if City didn't win at the MX last season. I think they definitely didn't win at the MX Stadium, and I think Brighton are a very, very scary team to play at the MX when a lot is on the line. When the title is on the line, Brighton would be a very, very difficult challenge away from home to face, I think. So City, Arsenal, smash. Next question. I mean, come on. We all know that the Etihad Stadium is a slaughterhouse for Arsenal. You remember last season, even Robbie put on this Captain America speech to try rally and galvanize the lads and the fans to think that they can take something away from City at the Etihad Stadium during the title race. No, it didn't work. I'll put it here for reference, but it just didn't work. Kevin De Bruyne is back, and we know that Kevin De Bruyne just always torments Arsenal, especially at the Etihad Stadium, right? So I think it's been more than 5 years since Arsenal got something away at the Etihad Stadium. The last I remember, if memory serves me right, is actually a 2-2 draw with the goal being scored by Alexis Sanchez. But in that game, De Bruyne scored as well. But exactly, that's how long it is that I feel like the last time Arsenal got something, just a draw. I don't even remember when last they won at the Etihad Stadium. So come on, we know when Arsenal get to the Etihad, it's a spanking. They will definitely get a spanking. So that for me is a City win easily. Arsenal fans can be like, oh, but we've beat City this season. Yes, it was a deflected Martinelli goal. That game didn't have much into it, and I feel like also Kevin De Bruyne didn't play. The Arsenal owner, Arsenal's father, definitely didn't play in that game. So at the Etihad Stadium, we know De Bruyne is cooking this season since he's been back from injury. It's like he never went away. I do think Pep Guardiola will get the better of Mikel Arteta once again.
This is Robbie here from AFTV, and I've got a message to all Arsenal fans, wherever you are around the UK or around the world. This week, Wednesday, the 26th of April, Arsenal are going to be playing one of the biggest games we've ever played in the Premier League. In fact, probably the biggest game that Arsenal have played since we last won the title 19 years ago. We come here to the Etihad to take on the current champions, Manchester City, in a game that's been billed as the Premier League final. But I'm here to say to you that it's not over yet. If we're going to win the title, we're probably going to have to come here and win against Manchester City. All you guys, all you fans, wherever you are, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, America, Africa, Asia, Middle East, wherever you are, when we come here with belief. We come here thinking that we can do it. We can beat Manchester City and we can still win this title.
How good is
Believe.
he? What can this guy not do?
Be back to it. City Villa home. I think City can win that fixture. I think it will be tricky. I would want to go with a City win. City at home against Villa. Unai Emery can be a very difficult manager to play against, right? So I feel like I see it being a very, very tight game. I really do. I really want to go with a draw. City have dropped so many points lately, and I also feel like it would be maybe in between, when is this? April the 3rd, maybe shuffled in between some Champions League fixtures as well, quarterfinal, maybe City get a big draw, a big opponent in the draw. So I'm actually changing my mind. So I'm going City will beat Arsenal, but then they will draw to Aston Villa at home. And then Palace away, City win. Although Palace can be a very tricky fixture against Man City, I think they win. Luton home, win. Spurs away, loss. Again, one of those things where somehow City struggle at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They haven't won but this one FA Cup victory this season for the first time since the stadium was built. So again, I think Spurs will get the better of Man City. I think if they play with tenacity, being aggressive, and they play on the front foot, City won't be able to cope. City have been struggling defensively this season. I think they will lose that game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Forest away, I have City win. Wolves home, City win. Fulham away, City win. West Ham home, City win. So yeah, it could be a very tight game, the last game of the season. Maybe a lot is still on the line at that stage, but I still have Man City winning that game. It might be tight, but I still have Man City winning it. So on to Arsenal. Newcastle home, I'm expecting a filthy low block by Eddie Howe's men when they travel to the Emirates Stadium tonight. I feel like Arsenal are a little bit under pressure due to the loss against Porto, but because that Champions League fixture, the second leg, is still some weeks away, maybe they were just tired. It was a once-off. They didn't create anything that whole game. Arsenal really didn't create anything that whole game, right? So for me, I do feel like there's a chance that it could be a very tight game, and maybe the fact that the pressure is on Arsenal plays very nicely in Newcastle's hands and in Newcastle's favor. And we know that Newcastle can go out and get a draw at the Emirates. They've been doing it time and time again. I still feel like Arsenal have enough in them to get a narrow win. Okay, so for this, I am saying Arsenal will narrowly beat Newcastle. Yeah, Arsenal will narrowly beat Newcastle. Arsenal against Sheffield, Arsenal win away. Arsenal against Brentford, Arsenal win at home. Arsenal against Chelsea, I see a draw. I feel like Chelsea can go at the Emirates Stadium and get something, just because they're a tricky team to play against. They're not fighting for anything. They're not under much pressure, and I'm pretty sure they do not necessarily want Arsenal to win the league. So they will be putting in their best performances, I'm sure. So I feel like that would be a draw. Man City away, that's a loss. We've spoken about that in detail. Luton home, that's a win. Brighton away, that's a draw. I see a draw for Arsenal. Villa at home, I see an Arsenal draw. I'm seeing an Arsenal draw again. Wolves away, Arsenal win. Spurs away, I'm seeing an Arsenal loss. So I think Spurs beat Arsenal, and I still feel like Villa and Unai Emery will be a tricky fixture. Sorry, just to go back a little bit, they'll be a very tricky fixture to play against. Unai Emery, former of Arsenal, I'm pretty sure he can give Arteta some headaches, and Aston Villa will also be fighting for something during that stage, Champions League potentially, and Europa League at worst, I think. So definitely they'll be good enough to get a result at the Emirates is what I think. Maybe the pressure again is a lot on Arsenal. Maybe it's sandwiched in between a Champions League fixture in the quarterfinal. Maybe Arsenal, if they make it through, I think they will definitely beat Porto in the second leg. I think they make it through and probably get a more difficult opponent. So with that being said, pressure again on Arsenal, and I'm not sure how they cope with that. And we've seen last season that when it starts getting to the latter stages of the season where the pressure is rising, tensions are rising, it gets hot in the kitchen, and Arsenal simply cannot cope. So I see dropped points again with Villa. Wolves away, I said win. Spurs away, I said loss. I do feel like Ange can get the better of Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs also would be fighting for Champions League at that stage. I think it will be a very tricky fixture for Arsenal. Bournemouth away, win. Man United away. No, Bournemouth at home, Arsenal win. Man United away, Man United win. So I definitely see an Arsenal loss. I see an Arsenal loss yet again. So in my opinion, I'm just looking at it how I've gone about this. I think Arsenal fall off. I honestly believe Arsenal fall off. I don't know if initially that's what I would have said, but going through the fixture list, I think they have a more difficult run. They do have a more difficult run. They have City away, they still have Spurs away, they have Brighton and Villa in a row, and Man United away as well. For me, that's very, very tough. And last game, Everton at home, I see an Arsenal win. So if we were to tally up the scores, how does it look? Arsenal end up on 79 points only based on my predictions. That doesn't seem right. In a way, it seems quite low. But at the same time, I do see that that's possible based on the fixtures. So right now, I am actually saying it would be between Liverpool and Man City. Yes, maybe the Liverpool and Man City game becomes a real title decider because I went for a draw. If Liverpool win that, maybe they're even more favorites. Obviously, they will be more favorites, but then according to my calculation, they have it wrapped up. But if City win that Anfield clash is looking more and more like a title decider for me. I don't know. I think I had a good time looking at this. I feel like everyone, if they were to look at this and try to make their own prediction, they come up with something completely different, right? Especially for different fixtures, maybe the points tally would be different. I do not think it's a 90-pointer. I do not think there's any team that's reaching 90 points this season. I said that at the beginning of the season, and I still stick by it. It will be a very, very tight finish towards the end. So again, I'm excited. Maybe there's one or two that I calculated wrong. Hopefully I didn't. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think. Maybe who do you think will end up winning it, just purely based on these fixtures and how it's looking. Hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the Premier League weekend. I'll be back with a review of the weekend tomorrow.